that you've left my home, I'll have to find somebody, find somebody. I never thought that I would have to face this anytime. As I mentioned previously in one of the other clips, I was working for Steve Cropper in Memphis, the celebrated Stax guitarist and producer. And so Steve had taken me basically under his wing. But before he had done that, I need to back up for a second. I was in Transmaximus, and I had been playing with my band, St. Andrew's Fairway, in Transmaximus, Steve's studio. And I knew Steve was around, and I knew who he was, but he had never really introduced himself, or maybe he'd done it shortly, but it was just in passing. So I was up in the studio attorney's office speaking to him about some contractual stuff one evening, and I was with the rest of the members of the band, and knock came on the door, and Steve opened up the door and looked around, and he said, "I need to see you. Come find me after you finish this meeting." Me? Okay, sure. And so I went back and went back into the studio, and Steve was sitting at the piano with his guitar, and I said, "Yeah, what you need, Steve?" He said, "I want to write a song with you." And I said, I mean, this is a guy that had written Sitting on the Dock of the Bay and Knock on Wood and The Midnight Hour, and all those iconic soul hits. And I said, "Well, why do you need me to write a song?" So he just said, "Hey man, I just think it's going to be a good thing. Let's just do it." And so we collaborated on this song. Okay, fine. The next morning, he went to the West Coast to produce a Jose Feliciano record, and he was gone for 3 months. And I was doing whatever I needed to do at Transmaximus in the meantime, writing songs with people there and arranging for some of their artists and, things like that. I wasn't doing that much arranging at the time, mind you. I'd just done the St. Andrew's Fairway arrangement, which is my first, back in that fall, and this was the spring. So 3 months elapsed, and Steve came back from LA, and he took me up in the control room, and he said, "Hey, I got something I want you to hear." And he put on the tape, and I heard the piano playing, and I thought, "Wait, that sounds like the chords to that song we wrote." And then this orchestra came in, and then Jose came in singing, and I went, "Oh, what?" He had recorded it on Jose's album that he had produced out there. And so that started, for about the next 3 or 4 years before Steve moved to Los Angeles, that started this collaboration between Steve and me. And where we wrote a bunch of songs and placed quite a few, actually.